Upon entering the Realm of Shadow, you'll run across a host of unique enemies and bosses, the likes of which are among the most satisfying to overcome throughout all of Elden Ring. Standing out among the rest, though, is Messmer, the difficult boss that we've seen the most in trailers and DLC posters. He's waiting for you at the top of the Shadow Keep, and it's one of the toughest fights of the DLC. Upon his defeat, you'll gain access to his equipment and some of his abilities, and in this video, we're going to show you how to use them to essentially become a boss yourself with a unique build that puts the power of Messmer the Impaler in your hands. To start here, we're going to briefly go over the stats that you should look to level up. We went for 55 Vigor here to give us decent survivability. We also went for 21 Mind and 25 Endurance, 15 Strength, since it's not really a stat that we need to invest much in, and 35 Dexterity for the Spear of the Impaler. We also have 60 Faith to make use of Messmer's incantations as well as the fire damage part of the spear. This is an RL 150 build, so keep that in mind if you choose to level past 150. Dexterity and Faith will be your two main damage stats. For talismans, we've chosen the Shard of Alexander for the damage on the weapon art. This will boost it by 15% and can be found via Alexander's questline. We've got Flock's Canvas Talisman, which you can get from Gowry after you complete Millicent's questline. For talisman number 3, the Godfrey icon is great for charging Messmer's incantations, and you can find that in the Everjail in the Altus Plateau. Our fourth talisman is the Fire Scorpion Charm, which is great since most of Messmer's abilities are fire. This can be found at the fort in Mount Gelmir. Our first tier choice is the Flame tier, located in Caelid at the first tree avatar. For our second tier, we have the Faith tier, which you can grab by some plants here in the Weeping Peninsula. Armor is very straightforward. After beating Messmer, you can grab it from Enya at the Round Table Hold. Equip this armor to have Messmer's look. The helm here also boosts the damage on his incantations, which is a pretty cool bonus. For weapons, you're going to need to duplicate his Remembrance to get his main ability and weapon. Spear of the Impaler you can grab first, then after duplicating at any walking mausoleum or coffin, grab Messmer's Orb. His other incantations can also be found in the Realm of Shadow. Fire Serpent can be found near the Storehouse back section side of Grace in Shadowkeep, and Rain of Fire can be found on the west side of Shadowkeep by the West Rampart side of Grace. We're going to need his seal too, or rather, the seal that boosts his incantations. This is the Fire Knight seal, and is found when the water is drained from the Church District in the Shadowkeep. It's by a large statue of Queen Marika. Golden Vow isn't exactly the kind of spell you'd expect Messmer to use, but it's too good to pass up. It can be found outside of Volcano Manor past the Ulcerated Tree Spirit. Flame Grant Me Strength can be found at Fort Jail in Caelid, the fort that is to the right of the Rot View balcony. Now to show off the power of Messmer, we've decided to showcase his complete build against a variety of bosses and tough enemies. First, we've got the Spear of the Impaler, an amazing weapon with a very fun Ash of War. This unique Ash of War, Messmer's Assault, does both fire and physical damage. The ability has 3 parts, with the final slam down doing thousands of damage. While this does have lower hyper armor, and you can be knocked out of it, when you land, the damage ceiling is very high. This can be very effective against larger bosses and enemies, as the damage can add up quickly. You'll likely find yourself having fun using this Ash of War, and one of the DLC's craziest weapons. For our main incantation, we'll be combining spear attacks with Messmer's Orb. This powerful orb is chargeable for more damage, making good use of the Godfrey icon. You can add this in with the seal in your left hand and the spear in your right. This makes for a deadly combination of attacks that can be quite versatile. One of the better strategies is to start with Messmer's Orb and then follow up with Messmer's Assault. You can use this combination frequently to quickly do massive fire damage, all while running a very fun cosplay build. Other incantations we have are Rain of Fire and Fire Serpent. For Rain of Fire, this does relatively low damage, but the area of effect on it is great. The incantation is chargeable too, and you can rain fire down before landing Messmer's Assault with the Spear of the Impaler. This allows you to have a constant area that is set ablaze, all while taking advantage of the power of Messmer's Spear. Make sure you charge up Rain of Fire for a little more damage and duration, as this can be useful to have around you while you use Messmer's other abilities. Fire Serpent is a bit different. This does good damage, but it is a relatively simple incantation. For this, you'll be able to use it at a mid-range for quick fire damage. This fits the build quite well, and can be used when you back off of an enemy or boss. This is the quickest of his incantations, so it can be extremely useful when you need to get in fire damage on faster bosses. With all of these combined together, we're about to show off Messmer's true powers against multiple tough enemies and bosses. There is no question as to why Messmer has control of the Shadowkeep. This is simply just one powerful build. Thanks for watching, and if you're looking for more fun Elden Ring builds, make sure to check out our guide on how to turn your Tarnished into a Belmont, along with our Beast Claws build guide. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.